Hey everybody, it's Corbin Hostler. Welcome back to Mining Modern. This week I've got a brew for you. It is Mono Red Token Combo. I don't know what to call it. Mono Red Burn at the Stake, Mono Red Haze of Rage. Either way, it is a wild, wild deck. One of the craziest ones you're going to see in Modern. We're going to make a bunch of tokens. We're going to play a Mono Red combo deck that makes hundreds of mana and attacks for thousands of damage. That's what we're going to do, everybody. If you know how the deck works, we're going to jump right on into the games. The deck tech, there's a link in it at the end. We played this week against the green-white company deck that is trying to combo with Vizier. We played against a Norin Soul Sisters deck. That's one that's been on my bucket list as well. And we played against Death Cloud, deck I played a few weeks ago. Lots of fun. Let's go ahead and jump on into the games. I'm Corbin Hostler. This is Mining Modern. Thanks for watching. Hey, everybody. Welcome back for some more Burn at the Stake. This is going to be good. Our hand here is actually pretty decent. We've got the Pyromancer. We've got some Plunges to battle him, Manamorphose. If we get to untap with Pyromancer here, we're going to be in business. Our opponent might just combo us on turn 3. You never know. But we've actually got a nice looking hand here. This has the makings of a turn 3 kill, to be honest. Obviously, we have to draw fairly well to do that. But double Manamorphose and then Infernal Plunges makes a lot of mana. And then we're basically just, I would say, a Reforge the Soul away from maybe having a turn 3 kill here. That's that our opponent appears to have a turn 3. They just literally have a turn. They mulligan and have a turn 3 kill. Well, all right, never mind. We lost the dice roll, so we didn't get to play that one. That was unfortunate. When they just mulligan into the winning hand, the turn 3 kill. All right, that was not ideal, but that's how it goes sometimes. We'll cut a Plunge here. Go ahead and cut an Increasing Vengeance. Sideboarding with this deck is a little tricky, but that's what it is. All right, so we'll go ahead and give this a shot. That was super unfortunate. I honestly think we could have won on turn 3 because look, we were gonna get Manamorphose was gonna draw us 2 cards plus our draw step, so that's 3 draws. That would have left us with 3 creatures in play. We could have Plunged, which keeps us at 3 creatures in play, but puts us up to 4 mana. We could have Plunged again up to 7 mana. We could have Battle Hymned up to, I think, 11 mana. Like I said, we're either, at that point, either a Reforge the Soul or a Faithless Looting away from possibly just winning on turn 3. Unfortunately, our opponent did just win on turn 3. Well, I can't mulligan this. We got 4 redraws. 4 redraws in it. That's pretty good. Our life total doesn't, and it's it's a lot of redraws. Okay. All right, well, this is what it is, I guess. Guess we have the red mana to play this gut shot. If our opponent has either a mana dork or we can... The sad part is I actually don't know if we can even use it to beat their combo. I boarded it in for things like this. Whoa, Magic Online, what are you doing to me? All right. I'll go ahead and just see what we draw here. We obviously want to hit a Young Pyromancer. So I'm happy just burning through all of them. Oh my gosh, or I'll just do it in one. All right, look at that. Okay, so this hand is not as stacked as our last one, but this is pretty good. We hit our opponent's mana dork. For what it's worth, I don't think that gut shotting the Vizier of Remedies actually even works. I just boarded it in because it's a green deck. They're gonna have mana dorks. Obviously, we got one there, but they can just untap their Devoted Druid again in response to Vizier of Remedies and just go for it. All right, well let's try and hope we don't die on turn 3 again here. Wow, this deck plays 17 lands, so this is not ideal. Wow, that was horrible. Okay. Guess I'll move to combat. We made some tokens. We did not get there on a draw, though. Yeah, I mean, we're 14 cards into our deck, so this is a little unfortunate we weren't able to find anything here. Winning through Scavenging Ooze will be annoying. Not impossible. Honestly, not even that difficult, but annoying. We just need to do something. We need to find a Faithless Looting or something here. Or a Reforge the Soul. I would like to cast Reforge the Soul. This isn't going to be great, and in fact might just lead to our opponent killing us next turn. But it also might lead to us winning this turn. I'm going to need to get a little lucky to do that, but it is possible. Yeah, this might do it. This looks pretty good. We need a Battle Hymn, though, and we don't have one. All right. Play our land. Whoa, I don't want to do that. All right. I need to make as much mana as possible. And without Battle Hymn, it's going to be difficult. But I guess if we plunge up to 6 mana, we can then pass in Flames and plunge some more. I think that's what we want to do. The nice part is these Infernal Plunges are creature neutral. But I think step 1 is just making a bunch of mana. Step 2 is figuring out what to do with it. Alright, I've got 6 total mana here. I can pass in Flames down to 1. Make 6 again. I guess it doesn't even change anything, except I've burned my Pass in Flames. Although that's worth it, because then we get a Manamorphose and stuff. Okay. We're going to Pass in Flames now. Which also gives us an additional token. But this will turn into draw steps for us, thanks to the Manamorphoses, so we can actually hit a Battle Hymn and really go off here. And if not, we're not really any worse off than we were before. So I'm going to go ahead and plunge some creatures away. I can also gut shot this thing for good measure. Alright, so we're at 6 mana again, but now I can start flashing back Manamorphoses to actually draw cards to try to get there. And getting there looks like something that makes... Basically, Battle Hymn is the ideal, but we'll see what we get. Faithless Looting's not bad. This is going to be a fun game, win or lose, though. That's what I love about this deck. You never know when you start... It's Stormy, you just always know you've won. Oh my gosh, that's a Battle Hymn. Alright, there you go, everybody. That's a Battle Hymn. So now it's just kind of all bets are off. We're about to go crazy. We're going to go crazy, and it would be very unlikely for us to not win this turn. What is this, turn 4? That's what I like. Alright. I will play I'll just loot first here. At this point, we just want to make a bunch of tokens before we Hymn, because Hymn will give us 1 billion mana. There's another Reforge the Soul. Don't need that, actually. Alright, I will go ahead and Dragon Fodder here. Loot one more time. Yeah, sure, discard Plunge and Dragon Fodder. It doesn't really matter. Actually, I should discard the 2 Fodders, because what I want to do is plunge into him into Reforge the Soul. That produces the most mana before we draw a new hand. Yeah, everybody, this is it. We are having fun with Mono Red Token Storm right here. This is what we do. All right, so now we Hymn down to 2, but, oh yeah, up to 17. And now we play Reforge the Soul. We have 1 million mana. We have Pass in Flames in our graveyard. Pretty difficult to lose at this point. There's some gut shots for good measure. This hand was not insane, but still going to be good enough. All right, we'll gut shot this because we can. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of tokens we're making now. The other nice part about our deck is sometimes you can just win on the turn you play your first Pyromancer. In this case, we can just Bushwhacker to kill them, or we can have fun. What do you think we should do? Oh, you want to have fun? Yeah, me too. All right, let's go ahead and battle him here. How much mana do we have now? Oh, we have 29 mana now, huh? All right, let's go ahead and flashback. Faithless Looting. What are we going to draw? Simming Spirit Guides, don't need those. I will play Manamorphose, though. Add red. Another land. Okay, what do we got in our graveyard here? The problem is our Reforge the Soul we can't Bushwhacker, but that doesn't mean I can't have fun still, right? Basically, I could flashback Pass. This is the thing, right? I can flashback Pass in Flames. I can play all these battle hymns. I can continue making tokens. I can draw our entire deck. Eventually, we're going to kill our opponent, whether it's at a burn at the stake for 1 billion or just this Bushwhacker. But since this is game 2 and they haven't actually seen anything else in our deck, I'm just going to play the Bushwhacker and kill him. I guess we'll let our 24 mana go to waste. Alright, we did it. On to game 3. On to game 3, where we hope to not get comboed on turn 3 by our opponent. That game, they didn't have the turn 3, so we killed him on turn 4. It was nice. That was a fun one. That's the nice thing about this deck, too. Like I said, I've actually thought about changing it. Say you're against... I thought about the sideboard, and I've thought about a lot of different ways. Right now, I kind of have just a fair sideboard-ish, right? Like, we have Graveyard Hate, we have Shattering Sprees for, artifact decks, we've got Defense Grids for the control decks, and the Empty the Warrens is a kind of like, how do we not get negated sort of card, right? But it's very possible that we just want to load our sideboard up with more token producers and bushwhackers, and just try to win that way. This hand could be good. This hand's missing some draw effects, but it's got tokens. It's got tokens and mana. That's pretty good. Oh, nice. And it's even got a gut shot. If our opponent has something we care about on turn 2. Well, we care about that a little bit. Not as much as they think, though, that's for sure. Like I said, our opponent... we used Past in Flames to win that last game, but it's not necessary. You can just make 6 tokens and cast Burn at the Stake, and that usually kills people. So if our opponent kept a marginal hand because of Rest in Peace, we could actually punish him. I'm just going to go wide with tokens and hope it's good enough. Militia Bugler? Yeah, this is very slow. That's kind of a nice addition to their deck, though. Finds combo pieces. Both of them. Like that all 3 of them, like that Duskwatch Recruiter. This thing's a 2/2. Alright, well. You know what? I might have a kill lined up next turn. We could have a turn 4 kill here with this hand. Because I gut shot to, unless we die, right? Our opponent could just kill us, but it doesn't look like they're going to. Sure, come on in, buddy. I'm not blocking, that's for sure. I'll take 2. Yeah, we might have a kill here. We'll see. I haven't done the math yet. It depends what they play, etc. But gut shot will make us enough. Wow, they're doing nothing, so they just have Collected Company. The problem is this doesn't give them haste. All right, so let's think this through. If I gut shot now, just gut shot them to 18 or whatever, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 6 creatures. Then I can him to make 7, 8, plus 8, 16 mana. And I could do this 4 times. I believe I've done this right. I believe that I could cast Haze of Rage 4 times, giving our 6 creatures that could attack plus 4 plus 0. So even if so 2 of them would get through and we would not deal enough, I think is the answer. So our opponent's representing Cord or Company here. Alternatively, I hold the gut shot to try to shoot something later. And that's clearly what they have, since we know they have this in their hand. This is hard. I mean, I could also just him and make a bunch of mana and then Reforge the Soul, which means I'm better off just gut shotting now, I guess. Yeah, we'll see what happens here, but I'm going to go for it. I think, although it's also possible, I guess it depends on how much I can cast this. Dragon Fodder doesn't help. Well, maybe it doesn't hurt. Alright, so let's see here. If I him, I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I get 7 mana. And then I him again, and I get 8 mana. Plus, I'd have 1 left over, so it's 16. So yeah, I could do this 4 times, giving all of my creatures plus... Oh, it has Storm, though. Oh, I think this just might kill him. Yeah, I think we're just going to kill him. We should do that. They're going to need a heck of a card to get out of this one. Because these creatures are going to be attacking for a lot. And I can even Dragon Fodder for free, I think, here. Although it's just worse than casting Haze of Rage again, I guess. Oh, no, it's free because of Battle Hymn, though. Alright, in. Yeah, this is nuts. In fact, it's more than free. It actually produces... This is a ritual. So the thing is, I could Reforge the Soul here and just try to, you know, I could Reforge the Soul and just try to win that way, but I think just casting this card 4 times will be enough. Because we're going to have 3 creatures get through, unless some crazy stuff I'm not expecting happens, but we'll have 3 things get through, and they're going to be like 8 ones. And by the way, they're going to be even bigger than that because we already have Storm Count. Oh, this is nuts. Woo, this is nuts. This deck is so fun. This is 2 turn 4 kills we're going to pull off, assuming this works. What a crazy card. Haze of Rage, everybody. Haze of Rage. Wow. Like I said, our opponent slammed this Rest in Peace thinking they were good, and they're not. They're just not. Oh my gosh. Storm Count 5. This is great. This is just great. I love this. I've broken Magic Online, by the way. Because of the way this resolves all of these... If you just F6 through it or whatever, it'll resolve all these storm things at once. Actually, it's not... See, I don't actually have the option to yield to it here, but it'll resolve them all at once. And I've had it where I've had enough tokens, and Storm Count was like 60 or something, and it was taking Magic Online a full 60 seconds. Yeah, you go to fire off that company now, buddy. Every one of our creatures is going to be lethal. Your creature won't have haste. You just dead. Oh my gosh. We're going to win through the turn 2 Rest in Peace, turn 3 Militia Bugler. Just Haze of Rage, everybody. We did it. We died on turn 3 in game 1. We didn't get to do anything. And then we put together 2 crazy wins right there with no burn at the stake involved, but just token storm. Haze of Rage, everybody. Wow, that was a lot of fun. That's what Mining Modern is about. Thanks for watching, everyone. Hey, everybody. Here we go with some more of the Mono Red Burn at the Stake deck. This is a lot of fun. By the way, you want to see, what's the word I'm looking for? Aggressive plays? Yeah, this is it. All in on Faithless Looting. No fear. Look at that. Did it. Never didn't have it, everybody. Never didn't have it. Remember that. Also, this is just 1 land. We still have a ways to go. I did keep this hand, though, because this hand is very good if we got there. And, hey, why not? We're playing a meme deck. We may as well have fun with it, right? I say meme deck. I don't even know if that's what the kids say these days. Look at me, fellow humans. I'm young and cool, too. I don't know. It's a funny deck. It is a joke. It is a joke deck in the sense that I promise you're not going to win a Grand Prix with this deck. You're probably not going to win FNM with it, but you know what? You might, and you know what? You just might go 2-2 and have a heck of a lot of fun doing it, and that's what we're going for here. So if that's what we're doing, why not keep the High Variance hand? If we hit another mountain here, or another, and keep in mind we have more Simian Spirit Guides, we have Street Race, we have Faithless Lootings. If we hit another source and play this Pyromancer, and then just play some spells, we have everything we need here. This makes a bunch of mana. This draws us a new hand. We just need to get a little lucky. Well, it's an easy game, everybody. I don't know why everyone makes out Magic to be so hard. Look how simple it is. Our opponent's just reading every card we play, and I don't blame them. I mean, Young Pyromancer, you should know, but when someone goes Simian Spirit Guide into Faithless Looting, discard Reforge the Soul, and Pass in Flames, you have got to know you are in for something. Something wild. Our opponent's on humans here. Could be mono white humans based on... Oh no. That's absurdly good against us. I mean, to be fair, our deck probably never beats humans in the first place, but that's very good against us. You know what? I'm going to trade with this thing. We have 1 Pyromancer. That's good enough. Human's deck isn't going to kill it. If they are, they're going to path it. Look at this. Keep 0 lands, never miss a land drop on the play. Yeah. All that said, we still need help, mainly because of just how brutal Thalia is against us. We have gut shots on the sideboard for it, but this card is terrifying. Basically, our entire deck is... Well, that's pretty good for them, too. They're going to gain a lot of life off of that, I guarantee you. Our life total feels like it's not under immense pressure, though, so we have a few turns to try to draw out of this, whatever that looks like. I guess I just play Faithless Looting. I don't really know what I want to do with it, though. Do you loot or not loot? I don't know the answer. I'm going to loot here. It starts the token making going with the Battle Hymn, etc. That can matter quite a bit. And we might end up, I don't know what we're going to throw away here. We'll see. But if we're only taking, 3 damage a turn right now, seems like we've got an opportunity at least. Bushwhacker is not what I want, so that's an easy pitch. And I guess Spirit Guide is too? Spirit Guide is a mana source to Reforge the Soul, though. The Bushwhacker is an easy throw. Is it possible if I battle him for enough? Like if I discard Reforge the Soul, I just play Spirit Guide next turn, and I battle him for like 4 mana. The question is, can I get to Pass in Flames and Reforge? I don't think so. I'm not convinced that Reforge the Soul in our hand is even what we... Well, even where we want to be. 1, 2, 3, make 3. Have 4. That's not good enough. And we're still several cards away here no matter what we do because of this stupid Thalia. If it wasn't for Thalia, we would just be able to just start going off, basically. We could... Yeah, we'd be in a great spot. I guess I'm going to pitch the Spirit Guide. Yeah, so our hand didn't change. We got a token out of the deal. Not that it can do anything against Auriok Champion, but with Battle Hymn in our hand, there is obviously value to doing that. The ideal draw for us, the ideal draw would be Krinko's Command. Not Krinko's Command, Hordeling Outburst. We have the 4 mana to pay for it. We'd make 3 tokens, 4 with the Pyromancer. Then our Battle Hymn makes a lot of mana. Then we can actually play Reforge the Soul, draw into a new hand, and try to continue going off from there. Once our deck gets going, our deck makes a ton of mana. So once we get going, I won't care about Thalia, but I will care about Thalia right up until that point. So, unlike a Storm deck or something where it would tax us every step of the way and undo our, our mana dork or whatever. By that I mean Electromancer or so on, what have you. But perfect. Not quite Hordeling Outburst, but still pretty good here. All right, this makes a lot of tokens. Now, next turn, we can hymn for... Assuming we don't die, which I don't think we will. Our opponent might have Lightning Bolts. So if they have Lightning Bolts, they would probably bolt at our Pyromancer. I guess we could just throw the team in front of Thalia and try to get it off the table, but I'm not going to do that. What I am going to do is hymn next turn to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana. Well, this looks like a free attack. Why not? I think so. I would hymn. That would cost 3 mana. I'd make 6 mana. So I'd have 6. I'd have 7 mana, so I could play Reforge the Soul and hope to draw into things to do things. But like I said, if our opponent's not putting pressure on us, there's no reason not to just take as many draw steps as we can get here. Because we're either hitting, in theory, hitting spells we can cast. Well, that's actually fine. I'm a little scared of our opponent. I don't think I'm going to attack. I don't know what they could have. I don't want to mess with this. Drawing that Pyromancer actually means we're in a much better position to go off now. It really, really helps. So next turn we can hymn, which would now be for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. We'd have 9. Reforge the Soul, so have 3 left over. And we hit 1 more hymn and we're in the clear. So let's see what our opponent's Ranger Vios. Fine. Fine. Have it. Have Ranger Vios. Go get whatever you want. I don't care. I think I'm going to try to win next turn. We take 5, 6. Gosh, the question is, do I want to chump block? Do I throw something in front of the Thalia so that we don't get lightning bolted out of the game randomly? I guess we'll see. If our opponent you know, searches things out but then doesn't play them. They got Norin the Wary and Sarah Ascendant. Okay, so it's Soul Sisters. It's human Soul Sisters, which is kind of interesting. The Thalu's Lieutenant, because Auriok Champion's already a thing in the deck. You may as well add and this was the thing with Norin. Yeah, that makes sense. But, you know, this is very annoying. But it's not better than Burn at the Stake. Comes at the end step, yeah. I think we're going to win. Well, if we lose, I mean, we could still lose, obviously. Our deck is not 100% win rate when we go off. But it could be worse. Our opponent is actually attacking for 8 now, so that's kind of a problem. It means we're going to have 1 less mana. It's going to be a little trickier. They're just going to attack us with 1 creature, huh? Never mind. I mean, I guess they don't want to lose their team, which I guess makes sense. If you're them, you just set up your engine with Norin. Why risk losing your important creatures in combat? They have no idea what we're doing. They have no idea what we're about to do to them right now, or at least attempt to do. I mean, we're putting a lot into this Reforge the Soul, but we should have a lot of good draws here. All right, here we go. Wow, Infernal Plunge is nice. Infernal Plunge is great here, actually. Because it's neutral. Well, it nets us 1 mana, right? In the sense that, you know, it costs us 2 to play. We're going to go up to 3. But it actually creates a token, which then creates more mana off Battle Hymn. All of this is just making it less and less likely that we actually whiff when we cast Reforge the Soul. There could be a lot of triggers, but at the end, we should have a giant Burn at the Stake to kill them. All right, now we him for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana. This is nice. This is a sweet game. It's a lot of triggers, but I've yielded to them, so they're my opponents to deal with now. All right, him for 9 mana. Cast Reforge the Soul. Perfect last card in our hand. Down to 3. So now we just need to find some more mana production here, and we've got it, because we have Passing Flames in our graveyard. So more mana is all we need at this point. Battle him, please. Wow, that hand is bad. What a disaster of a hand. Oh my gosh, you've got to be kidding. I have 6 mana right now. Which is... Oh, we have the Spirit Guide. Oh, I think we can do it. I think we can do it. The Spirit Guide might save us here. Oh no, we're going to be 1 short. No, Passing Flames is going to cost us 6. No! Oh, dang it. But we might be able to do it next turn. We might be able to just make chump blocks and survive. So look, the thing is, I have 6 mana right now. I could Passing Flames, but that takes all 6 of it. If Passing Flames was in our hand, and it only costs us 5, then we'd have 1 float, and we could Spirit Guide up to 2 to play an Infernal Plunge from our graveyard, and then play him and start over again. So this is all fine, I think, because while yes, it's obviously annoying that we didn't win on this turn. Hopefully our opponent doesn't kill us, and we have plenty of blockers. At this point, we can just throw away creatures. I think the Simian Spirit Guide is more valuable to us as a mana source than a creature. Maybe that's not true because of him. Well, no, because the time we need mana isn't when we cast him. It's before that. So I'm just going to keep it in case. All right. I guess it didn't feel good there. If we'd hit 1 mana source, right? Whether that mana source was... Well, we were very close. We needed basically 1 of any mana source, another mana source, right? If it had been a second Spirit Guide, if it had been an Infernal Plunge even, that would have netted us the 1 extra mana we needed to go up to 7 in our pool. This puts us to 8. Then we could flashback Passing Flames for 6, flashback the Plunge from our graveyard, flashback the him, have 10, 15 mana again, flashback Reforge the Soul. All that said, we might still be fine. We had to give our opponent a new hand, which is, clearly not ideal. They discarded Secure the Waste, Sarah's Ascendance. Okay. Well, I can't block that. So I guess I'm going to 2. If they have a Lightning Bolt, we're dead. I think the red's just for Norin, though. They're just passed. I mean, we might actually get we might get a shot here. No idea what our opponent's doing. I don't assume it's good for us, but I think we're going to at least get an opportunity here to try and win. Well, I say that. Do we even have enough mana now? Oh, we do now, yeah. Pretty good. Pretty good draw. Alright, we'll battle him for 1 billion mana. I think we actually needed that too, because otherwise we still would have been stuck on 7 mana, which would not have been enough. But yeah, battle him. Battle him might get us there. That was a nice draw. Now, I mean, we drew 8 last turn and we didn't get there, so you know, I feel like we were, you know, it was in bounds to top deck that card there. But now we're set. We can pay 1 million mana. We're never going to run out of mana. This battle hymn's going to make a ton. Our opponent's going to have a bunch of life, and that's why they're not scooping. What they don't understand is that Burn at the Stake doesn't care. Alright, so let's go ahead and plunge first. At this point, it's just going to be a matter of digging through our deck. We could also Haze of Rage our opponents to death, but that would take a while. Alright, that puts us up to 10. Alright, cast Dragon Fodder here. Alright, so that makes some more tokens. So now I think I play... Interesting choice, actually, because I could play... It's just time to him, I think. I think we him and we copy it with Increasing Vengeance, since the next step after that's going to be to play Reforge the Soul anyways. The question is if you him and then you copy Reforge the Soul, since putting things in our graveyard with Pass and Flame is just as good as having them in our hand. It's a matter of, do we think we're going to whiff? But with 2 Reforge the Souls in our graveyards, I don't think we're going to. So I'm just going to go ahead and play him here. Let's see here. Pay the mana for it. Put it on the stack. Copy it with Increasing Vengeance. This is nice. You copy it. If it's flashback, you copy it twice. I'm holding down control here. Hopefully this gives me an opportunity to do this. Alright, I'm going to copy it. Alright, so we have all the mana we need now. The best part about copying this, too, is that it puts additional Young Pyromancer triggers on the stack before the original him resolves, by the way. Which doesn't come up often, it's actually net you more mana, but it does in this case where we have 3 Pyromancers. Which is kind of cool. But yeah, this should take care of all of our mana for the rest of the game. 66. 64, rather, sorry. I guess I'll go ahead and just play the Spirit Guide since we're about to wheel. It's a lot of mana, everybody. It's a lot of mana. Through Thalia. Alright, Reforge the Soul. Give our opponent a new hand. But we're down to 34 cards in our library. We haven't seen any Faithless Fleets. There's another Reforge the Soul we can flash back. I think it's basically a certainty that we're going to win at this point. I'm going to have to tap a lot of creatures for this Burn at the Stake, though. That's for sure. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. Anyways, that is for sure. As Magic Online tries to work out how to handle this. Wouldn't it be great if our opponent just slow rolled and lightning bolted us right now? I'd actually be pretty tilted if that's what happened. Path to exile one of our Pyromancers. Sure thing. Sure thing. Long past mattering, you just improve my draw step. That's all. For all I know, our opponent's going to wheel into some lightning bolts and kill us, so... Alright, so don't want to cycle that, that's for sure. Should go ahead and play this Manamorphose. We're just looking for Burn at the Stake now. 26 cards left in our deck. We'll get there. This is so many triggers, though. I guess we could add black mana and cast the Street Wraith. The value, am I right? Heck, I might do it. It's a blocker for this thing. Not cycling it. Sure. I don't usually make different colored mana, but I guess I will in this circumstance. That's funny. We draw the other one. All right. Play it. Sort of the appeal of the deck, right, is that it's mono red. You know, you get to play a mono red combo deck, and that is just so rare in the history of Magic. That's why it's awesome. Excuse me. I will play this Dragon Fodder because we can. Guess I'll go ahead and pass in Flames now before I Reforge the Soul. We have another Battle Hymn in here. In fact, I should just go ahead and do this. We'll Increasing Vengeance this one too. Our opponent's going to time themselves out, not yielding to these triggers. Alright, how much mana are we going to have now? We have sort of a Fireball. We have Burn at the Stake. Alright, what are we up to? What are we at? 86. 133 mana, everybody. We did it. Alright, I guess I'll go ahead and cast the Pass in Flames. I don't really think it matters, but I'll cast it. Make some more tokens, that matters. Our opponent's going to have a lot of life when we burn them down, that's for sure. Alright, I'm just going to Reforge the Soul again. Go down to 122 mana in our mana pool. This game is great. This deck is awesome. Alright, there's a Burn at the Stake. Should we see how much mana we're going to make first? I think so. What? You don't play this deck if not to make mana, am I right? No, I mean, the clock's actually a concern. This game took pretty long to combo out here. I'm just tired of waiting. I'm just going to cast Burn at the Stake. We can Burn at the Stake for like 200. As an additional cost to cast a spell, tap any number of untapped creatures you control. Burn at the Stake deals damage to any target equal to 3 times the number of creatures tapped this way. So we don't need 76 creatures. We only need, 26 creatures. Fortunately, though, we have 76. We have enough creatures. We don't have 76. We have 100 and something damage. Let's see what my opponent decides to do here. This is the kind of thing where if the clock wasn't sort of a concern, right? If I'm in paper, I'm just going to go all the way with this, right? That's what you do, play this deck to have fun. Think about it. We can cast our entire deck. We can draw through our entire deck thanks to the Faithless Lootings and the Reforge the Souls and stuff. We can make not hundreds, I guess. Probably not. We can probably make 100 tokens. We can make a bunch of tokens. We can battle him. We can flashback Increasing Vengeance on Battle Him to copy it twice. Literally, I think I've gotten up to like 200 or 300 mana with this on Magic Online, but I think in some theoretical world you could probably make 1,000 mana. I think it's possible with the Increasing Vengeance. Once each one of them's making like 50, and you get to cast them 8 times throughout the game, thanks to flashing them back plus the Increasing Vengeance. Yeah, pretty sick. Yeah, it's great. So I don't know. In paper, I thought about building this in paper because the great thing about this deck too is that it's super cheap. The sideboard's actually the most expensive part. Young Pyromancer is not expensive. Street Race, I guess, I mean Spirit Guide. These are the most expensive cards, right? Past in Flames a few dollars. Everything else here is just it's just bulk. Burn at the Stake is a bulk rare. I love it. And you know what? You can see we can beat. I mean, this is this is Soul Sisters, right? Not humans, but this is. I mean, they had a turn 1 champion of the parish. This is a legitimate modern deck. I played Martyr Proc a couple weeks ago on here. Those are real things. Those are real decks that people play at tournaments, and you could just play this against them. All right, our opponents come back. I won't time them out anymore. I'm not trying to time them out. They haven't yielded to this stuff. They took a break for a minute there. I'm just going to go ahead and mercifully end it for them. Alright, and pay our mana. Now this is the worst part. I have to click so many creatures. Just kind of click around randomly till we see how many we've got. What's X? 26 tapped so far. That's actually not enough. Where are we at now? 35 tapped. All right, that is enough. All right, cast it. Increasing Vengeance it because we can. And hopefully this gives our opponent the courage to scoop here, get us on to game 2. The beauty part, the nice part of this too, is giving it flashback with Pass in Flames actually means it has flashback equal to its converted mana cost, right? So you can flash it back for 2 because of Pass in Flames, but all that matters, this spell was cast from a graveyard, so therefore it does copy it twice, regardless of anything else. So we have 3 targets to point at our opponent. So I don't remember how many we tapped. 30 something. Well, that one did a lot. That one, I don't know. We did what, like 200 damage there or something? No, we tapped like 30 something. It was like 90. We did like almost 300 damage there. Yeah, not bad. Not bad against an opponent who went turn 1 Champion of the Parish, turn 2 Thalia. I'll take it. Let's get some gut shots in here. All that said, now we got to play another game against them. Hordeling Outburst, not very good against Thalia. Thalia is by far the biggest concern for us. And cut and increasing Vengeance here. I guess I'm tempted to cut an Infernal Plunge. I will. You can't sideboard much with the deck. And I haven't even found room in here for a 4th Simian Spirit Guide. In fact, it may be correct, it may not be. The deck's pretty tight. You could go down to 1 increasing Vengeance in the main deck for the 4th Spirit Guide if you wanted. But the issue for me seems to usually be not necessarily having enough mana, but having enough tokens. So you might actually want, more Hordeling Outbursts or more Krinko's Command, right? That sort of thing. Just to make tokens. Because your tokens are your mana, whether it's Infernal Plunge or... Obviously, the deck's very reliant on Young Pyromancer. That's the thing that really allows you to go crazy. But, like I said, you can just have other games where you just play tokens and then play Haze of Rage and kill them because you've made enough mana. By the way, wasn't that the game where we kept a 0-lander? It was, right? That was a 0-lander? Yeah, it was. I'm not doing it this time. Or maybe am I? It worked once. Why not? This has 2 redraws. It has 2 redraws. This is pretty reasonable, I think. It's got 2 redraws, and we're on the draw. We have the Faithless Lootings. We have the Gut Shot for whatever scary stuff they play. This is not the scary stuff. The scary stuff is Thalia. We'll get there, right? Not yet. That's a nice draw, though. Come on, deck. Give me a land. Uh-oh. Moment of truth. Oh, my gosh. Oh, it's so easy when you never didn't have it. All right. Faithless Looting to find some more lands. Simian Spirit. We can pitch the Pass in Flames easily enough here. Need lands, so I've got to keep this other. Can I get rid of this? You may pay an additional 2 as you cast it. If you do, put it into your hand as it resolves. I don't know how that interacts with flashback, to be honest. Doesn't come up very often. Then exile it. So I think it would get exiled is what would happen. I'll pitch it. We'll win with Burn at the Stake. Just because... Well, I could actually send in the Spirit Guide now if I wanted. No, we'll see. This way, if we hit land, we can actually just play Pyromancer on turn 2. If not, we can just Faithless Loot. All we need are lands here. After that, we have a nice mana engine. We still have the Gut Shot to hit a Thalia. I have dealt myself some damage this game, so that's a thing. Well, that makes it harder. Not impossible, as you've seen, but harder. Now we know whatever we get rid of is gone forever. Actually, kind of think I'd get rid of the Manamorphose. It's weird. I want to go land, exile Spirit Guide, play Pyromancer here. Manamorphose is like the perfect card for our hand, though. I wonder if it's correct to just pitch the other Spirit Guide. I think I'm just going to pitch both Spirit Guides and just be slower because our opponent's putting us under no pressure. Just prioritize making land drops. And then building up a hand. Because our opponent's not... I mean, we dealt ourselves damage with those Street Race, but our opponent's not putting us under a ton of pressure here. Oh. I see. They're comboing off on of their... They got combos of their own over there. Well, okay, so this isn't going to get a counter, at least. This is going to make... It's actually going to make it more difficult. It's fine. Our opponent only has one card in hand, and we get to play Pyromancer here and kill their champion. So this is actually fine, but it's annoying. Land? I wouldn't say no to a land. I mean, I kept 0 land. Just never don't have it. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Oh, my opponent's got to feel... They don't know, but they're going to go watch this video. They're going to be so mad, and I can't even blame them. This is sick. Look at this. This is crazy. I get a gut shot. Paying the mana. Don't even have to pay the life. I don't know if we're going to win, by the way. None of this means we're going to win. It does mean we get... Our opponent has a Soul Warden and 1 card in hand when they get the turn back. This is annoying, though. And there's the Norin. So then I'm sure that was their last card. So they're going to gain a bunch of life, and they are going to ping us. So we are on a bit of a clock here. It's pretty funny. We could be in trouble to this. I won't lie. That said, depending on what we draw, I mean, we're like a Reforge the Soul away here from winning. I mean, maybe I shouldn't state the case that strongly, but given that we can't flash stuff back. But, I mean, we're in a good spot. That was not a good draw, though. We need... And this is where losing our graveyard obviously comes back and hurts us because we desperately need a Reforge the Soul here. We need card draw an insane amount. Our hand is set. I mean, we're there once we get card draw. We had to go up to 5 mana with the Infernal... We get a bunch of mana with Infernal Plunge, and we get a Hymn for more mana. We just need to refill our hand. Oh my gosh. Oh, we're just going to die. We have like a turn here. That Norin's going to come back and deal us 3. Huh. Well, our opponent has no cards in hand. We'll see how many more turns we get here. We're on a clock, though. We are on a clock to find something. By the way, mono red, not the best sideboard options against enchantments. Come on, give me Reforge the Soul. I'd even... Yeah, that's not exactly what we wanted. Our opponents... I shouldn't even have played anything, I guess. I guess I just take more damage this way. I'd said that might have been necessary to help us win. If we do draw Reforge the Soul, we're going to need everything we can get. I mean, it's going to deal us 3, put us down to 5. The next one puts us down to 2. I mean, I don't think it actually changes anything. Because our opponent could just attack to trigger this, so it's all kind of the same thing. Oh, no, it's not, because the champion kills us, yeah. No, we died. Champion will deal us 3, and then the Norin will deal us 3. Okay. Well, that's too bad. It's impossible to get rid of Norin, too. None of these cards do anything against them. So I guess we'll just try to win. We'll just try to win real fast. Yeah, as it turned out, I guess the Rest in Peace did get us. It's certainly possible to beat Rest in Peace. But in that case, I guess it did get us because we probably could have made enough mana to flashback Past some Flames to get lootings to try to dig there. Yeah, the fact that we dealt ourselves damage and then our opponent had some pretty sweet stuff. Now this, I'm into this hand though. Honestly, I'm probably not even going to Faithless Loot on turn 1. It's just not even worth it. I want to save it. I'm just going to go Pyromancer on 2 and then go from there and see what happens. You know, Pyromancer into Manamorphose is nice. It's not, you know, most unfortunately it is There's Shriek Wraith in the deck now. They used to be Git Probes. Git Probe was so much better because you could just, you know, Pyromancer and Gitaxian Probe at the same time and, you know, immediately make a token while also cycling. You know, the way it is now, you don't cycle. Or rather, you cycle, but you don't make a token. This hand, though, is actually pretty nice. In this hand, I'm going to be honest, it's not there yet. But it's like a Manamorphose or Battle Him away from being a turn 3 kill. Turn 3 kills are pretty rare in the deck, but they're not impossible. And when we go Manamorphose, make a token, basically if we can draw another card that that sort of is a free token in a way, just a miracle. I don't even want it. All right, let's see if we can hit something here to win. We could legitimately win on turn 3. Oh my gosh, we might be able to pull this off. Won't lie. Like I said, turn 3 kills are super rare, but certainly possible. Okay, let's see where we get with this. Haze of Rage. Not exactly what we wanted. Okay, so can we win? I can plunge up to 4 mana, him for a lot more, and then do stuff. All right, so can I first loot to get an additional token here? I think I can. This puts us up to 4 tokens. It may be greedy to try to win this turn, but it's certainly possible. All right, discard 2 here. I'm going to discard the Reforge the Soul, obviously. I think the Haze of Rage. That was not the kind of Faithless Looting that gets us to a win, though, unfortunately. All right, I can plunge up to 3 mana. We were just a little mana short here of killing on turn 3. I'm just thinking it through. I could plunge up to 3. Him takes me down to 1. But then creates 5, putting me at 6. At which point I can Reforge the Soul and try to win. The problem is if we discard our Burn... Given that we've already discarded Haze of Rage, if we then also discard Burn at the Stake and we get Rest in Peace, this game becomes much more difficult. Not impossible... Well, and our Bushwhacker's gone, which actually would not have win conditions besides making a bunch of tokens and turning them sideways. So, I wonder if that's worth it. You know, what if I just plunged and then played Bushwhacker, and then next turn just had enough to kill them? Would that work? If I plunge, I lose my Pyromancer that way. All right, let's think it through for a second here. I think I can deal 15 to them this turn. If I plunge up to 3 mana, it makes a token. My opponent goes to 22, sure. I have 3. Then I could hem to 6. That adds 5. So we'd have 5. And then, like, yeah, this is... I think the right play might just be to pass. We're not in a much different situation next turn, but we're in a little bit of a different situation. I could also just play the Bushwhacker and attack for 8 if I don't want to throw the Pyromancer in there. Like, I could plunge, Bushwhack, get him for damage, and then next turn just cast him, cast Burn at the Stake, and just kill them that way. I think that's the correct thing to do. Like I said, everybody, this is the point of the deck. Sometimes you don't have to combo to an extent. I mean, we sort of comboed here, obviously, but maybe you just play weirdly fair Magic. A Zoriak Champion certainly makes it more annoying, but not impossible. I think I just get in for 6. Put my opponent down. You know, alternatively, I could not do that, and I could just hem for 6 mana next turn. That doesn't really change too much, though. I don't know if this is the correct line or not. But it's certainly a line that might win. We get him for 6, put him to 17. It depends. Well, if they have a creature, we're not going to have enough right away. This might have been wrong. I don't know. It seemed like not exactly a free roll, but not bad either. Norin's probably going to end that plan for us. They shocked themselves, though. That's probably still not good enough. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Maybe I should have just passed. Or, heck, maybe I should have played Bushwhacker unkicked. And, yeah, well, that is what I was playing around, was Rest in Peace. I mean, that's why I made the plays I made, was to not just be dead to Rest in Peace by trying to get greedy there and then whiffing. All that said, do I just have 18 damage? I don't think that I do. I think if for me to have 18, they'd have 19 life. Oh, maybe not with that. All right, so let's think this through now. If I gut shot them down to 16, that makes it token. So it actually leaves them at 17. Sure. Then I have 5 tokens in play. I have 5 creatures in play. Then I battle him up to 6. Oh, no. Oh, no. So here's what actually happens here. Is if I were to gut shot them to 16, that would, they'd say it's 17 because of the Auriok champion. Then I'd cast Battle Him, which would put me up to 6 mana, put them up to 18. Then I'd cast Burn at the Stake for 18 because it's an additional cost to tap them, so I can't tap the one I get. They'd actually be at 19 when I went for it. Okay, well, we just passed then. Oh, that's so close. So frustrating. One more life is all we needed. Maybe my opponent will shock themselves again. But yeah, if they had been at 1 lower life there, we actually could have dealt them exactly enough. In this case, I get a gut shot this Champion of the Parish. And take a hit from this one, obviously, but gut shot this one, make a token, be in a better position next turn. Not a much better position. Unfortunately, this is actually kind of very awkward because I don't even know what we're looking for, to be honest. Oh no. Well, that one's kind of a disaster. This game has been so weird. I think I might have misplayed earlier. I was playing around Rest in Peace. That's what I wanted to do. But, I didn't want to throw away the Burn of the Stake. I thought maybe we could just win with a normal Burn of the Stake. But because we also kind of got unlucky to throw away our Bushwhacker and our Haze of Rage, we don't really have our win conditions. This is our last win condition, essentially. With this in play, we can't get rid of this. We have to win with this card. Which means we just want token producers, I think. I think we just want to draw, Krinko's Command or whatever. Because we need the battle. We have to have the Burn at the Stake. So, I mean, we could just try to make 1,000,000 tokens, but... And that doesn't work now. This might have... No, this wouldn't have worked last turn either. Can make 6 mana. I have 5 of these. This would give me 6. And I can do 18, huh? That's just not enough. I don't think this gets better for us. This thing's a problem. Does this just mean I have to burn it? I just have to Reforge the Soul and try to make a bunch of tokens and win by going... What? But we can't even beat these. I think we're dead. What a ridiculous way to lose, though. We had to get really unlucky, I think, to... One, not win game... Well, we kind of got lucky in game 1 and game 2, but... We had to get pretty unlucky. That's a problem of playing a deck with essentially just 3 win conditions. It's usually more, but against Rest in Peace, it's exactly 3. And we were forced to discard 2 of them already. And if I kept that Haze of Rage earlier... Yeah, the beauty of Haze of Rage is that it can allow any one creature to deal, a ton of damage. But I just literally don't think we can win the game right now without a second pirate. I guess multiple attack steps would allow us to win the game. That's what we're looking for. If it's fine, I guess, if they gain a bunch of life off our tokens, if we get to turn them all sideways multiple times, which means I guess I just have to go for this. I'm doing this because it's not getting any better. If we wait, we have to chump block this thing next turn, probably. Let's just make our mana and see what we can do, I guess. Yeah, this is an unfortunate way for this game to go, that's for sure. Pretty unfortunate. All right. Okay, well, doesn't really do much. It does more than nothing, I guess, but it doesn't do much. All right, well, 2 Pyromancers at least keeps... It doesn't really do anything. It doesn't help us at all with this, really. What a... Oh, man. How unfortunate. It's also, add insult to injury here. The Reforge the Soul did not give us very good cards in order to keep drawing. As you've seen, we can beat Rest in Peace. It's specifically, this is so dumb. It's not dumb, it's modern, right? But the combo of Auriok Champion plus Rest in Peace, we were 1 point off of having lethal. In fact, but the attack is how we got in that low anyways. I don't know, what an awkward game. Maybe I should have swung with the Pyromancer and lost my Pyromancer, but dealt them 2 more damage. And then just burn it to stake for 15? Would that have been enough? Well, it would have been the same amount of creatures, I guess. Oh, this makes mirrors, so we're definitely dead. Yeah, if we had swung with the Pyromancer, we lose our Pyromancer. But then next turn, I think we have 4 tokens plus the Bushwhacker. Then we make mana. But at that point, we only deal 15, and my opponent still would have just been, 1 or 2 points away from us. All right, that will just end the game, though. All right, we're dead. We're not beating this thing. All right, well, that was one of the odder matches of Modern I've ever played in my life, but you know what? It was fun, that's for sure. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Mining Modern. I'm Corbin Hostler, and here we go with some Mono Red Token Storm. Yeah, you heard that right. We are going to play Burn at the Stake, maybe. We're going to do a lot of crazy stuff. If we hit lands, anyways. All right, well, what do we need here? I thought we were pretty safe with this Faithless Loot. I mean, we're on 17 lands, where we have 4 Street Wraiths. We have a bunch of ways to make mana. Basically, you get 2, and you can sometimes be good to go here. This is a win condition. We don't necessarily have to have it. It does help, though. I'm going to go ahead and pitch a Reforge the Soul here, as well as a Pass in Flames. And hopefully we can hit some lands on our... If we hit a land on our next turn, or a Street Wraith, or Faithless Looting, that's 7 draws plus the land. So 23, I guess, good draws for us here. Well, there you go. There's a Faithless Looting. Let's see what we can do here. Come on, deck. Serve me up some lands. Oh, look at that. Not bad. All right, so the Street Wraith redraws. I need the Reforge the Soul. I don't need the Bushwhacker. I like the Plunge because we just want to plunge up to a Reforge the Soul here eventually. I mean, the Street Wraith is a redraw, but it also might just be our worst card here. We are obviously pretty slowed down. If we'd hit that land right away, we could have just played Young Pyromancer and then very well just been set up to go off depending on what we drew on our next turn. So this deck is crazy, but if we get to go off, you'll see how it works here. And our opponent is certainly giving us a deck that we could go off against here. All right, well, just Young Pyromancer it up. Next turn we'll play Goblin Fodder. Yeah, we just need some mana. This deck is once it gets going, it's crazy, and we'll see if we get the opportunity here. I have won, as I've dealt 150, this was probably the best. I've dealt 156 damage with this deck on turn 3 before. Now, obviously, we missed land drops here, so that's not quite going to work out. Oh, no. All right, well, we've been Fatal Pushed, but that's actually fine. All right, so There's another land. That's pretty nice. We'll just go ahead and play out our Pyromancer here. And we'll play the land. So if our opponent doesn't have another removal spell for our Pyromancer here, we can go Dragon Fodder into Infernal Plunge. That gives us some mana. We're not quite there yet. We can just flashback Faithless Looting as well to get ready for next turn. And our opponent is, you know, they're on some sort of rock deck here, I guess. Not putting us under a ton of pressure yet. When we win, we're going to win all at once. So let's see what they have for 5 mana here. Ob Nixilis, Ashura, Young Pyromancer. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's going to make the game harder, that's for sure. There's the Battle Hymn, too. I think we actually would have been able to go off. We could have played the... maybe. We could have played the Fodder. Made a token. We'd had 3 tokens. We could have Infernal Plunged to say even on tokens but go up to 3 mana. Then Battle Hymn to add and then Reforge the Soul. Yeah, we could have been very close. We'll see where we go from here, though. Probably just casting back Faithless Looting. We did not have an explosive hand this game, but our opponent, I mean, I don't know if they can figure out what we're up to or not, but... Alright. Down to 11. Let's see what we hit here. If we had hit our land drops on time and just gone Pyromancer into Pyromancer, we probably would have got a little bit of value out of some of these cards that had more tokens to work with here. And this is... Okay. Yeah, you plush your Vraska, that's fine. Street Wraith, huh? Well, may as well see what we get. Infernal Plunge. So I can actually go up to 6 mana right here. Tempting. No, I guess I'd only go to 5. I could Reforge the Soul, but then have no board. I think I just flashback Faithless Looting and see where we get. There's Pyromancer. I like that. I'm going to discard a Plunge. Is it the other Plunge as well? I want to go Pyromancer next turn. Kind of want to go Pyromancer, Plunge, stay even on token. That's 3. That puts us up to mana. Then we can Hymn. I got to discard something, though, here. I guess I'm going to discard the land. This is going to be a challenge, that's for sure. Our opponent had a reasonable draw, and we did not have a good one. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you about what this deck is. This deck is a fun deck that can steal games, and when it does steal games, it's a pretty fun way to do it. All of that said, this is not a top-tier deck, all right? We're having fun this week. It's almost standard rotation. I'm pretty hyped for Guilds of Ravnica. I would assume most people out there are. But that's the plan this week, is to have some fun with this brew. I first played this, gosh, I think I actually recorded games with this like 2 years ago or something. It was pretty fun then. Obviously, it got worse with Jataxi and Probe getting banned. But yeah, I busted it out recently, started having some fun with it again. And hey, when I dealt 156 damage on turn 3, I posted a screenshot of it. Everyone wanted to see it. So our opponent, by the way, just on Death Cloud, played this deck a couple weeks ago. It's really fun. So if they don't actually play Death Cloud, I mean, this is probably a reasonable matchup for us. Oh, that'll kill us. So that'll kill us pretty badly. All right, we might be on to game 2 here. Take 4 or 3. They're going to get some Vraska tokens, but I refuse to lose to Assassins. If we hit land, maybe. Alright, we did not. Okay, well. Fair enough, that's the way it goes sometimes. Even if we'd hit a mana source there. Alright, well, let's see what we do in game 2. I don't know that we actually really even want a sideboard. I guess we could get the gut shots for their mana dorks. Yeah, that seems pretty reasonable, actually. The empties are for people who are going to board in counter spells to try to counter your Burn at the Stake. That's what the Warrens are for. Let's see here. What do we want to cut? Basically, our deck only has a couple win conditions. We've got the Goblin Bushwhacker to give the team haste. We've got Reforge the Soul. But this is my favorite. Sometimes you just make tokens and then win by casting Haze of Rage and buying it back, which is pretty sweet. It's also possible the deck needs an instant or sorcery that gives your creatures haste. So that you don't, because obviously once Bushwhacker's in your graveyard through Reforge the Soul or whatever, you can't really do anything with it. And that's, I mean, it's fine with Burn at the Stake. Between Burn at the Stake and the Increasing Vengeances, you can win out of your graveyard pretty easily, but it can be kind of difficult otherwise. All right, so I do want some of these. Let's go ahead and cut an Infernal Plunge. I will cut an Increasing Vengeance there. I don't know if we're going to need it. And maybe we'll cut... we'll just cut... We'll cut one of the gut shots. We'll play this. It's hard to... This deck can't declutter itself too much. It is pretty sweet, though. It's a lot of tokens and a lot of mana. I mean, this deck makes more mana than Storm. Less consistent, but makes a lot more mana than a Storm deck does, that's for sure. You can just break Magic Online with the number of tokens you make with this thing. Alright, we'll go ahead and cycle this thing first just to see if we hit... Okay, well, there's a miracle. We'll not be miracling that one. Well, this hand is really interesting. It's got Pyromancers, which is exactly what we want. It's got Reforge the Souls, which are great later. We just need something to do with it. Give me some middle spell here. Another land, huh? Okay. Well, you know what? Just making land drops to be able to do our thing is sometimes good enough. And honestly, with this deck, sometimes you just make a bunch of tokens, and you just burn at the stake for, 15 or 18 or whatever, and you just kill people that way. Let's say if my opponent has a push here. They do. Okay, that's fine. I'm actually okay with them using their mana to push. And Pass Some Flame's not what we wanted. Actually, a fairly awkward draw here. I guess worst case scenario, maybe we just get to 5 mana and play Reforge the Soul and draw a new hand that way. Our opponent had a pretty solid draw over there. They had removal and a ramp, and here's the Garruk Wildspeaker. They're going to make 3 more mana. Pretty good. That said, depending on what we draw, we could just go off. Oh, we're getting Duress. That actually doesn't do much. This is where I just want to draw, basically the ideal draws for this deck involve turn 2 Pyromancers into turn 3 Token Maker, and some amount of mana rampants. You can just win on turn 3. Usually it's a turn 4 deck. I mean, this is, like I said, we're having fun here. Discard the Pass Some Flame, so I'm down for that. Manamorphose is exactly the kind of card we want right now. Doesn't make us mana, but it starts making us tokens, and that is the path to mana. Alright, add some red here. What do we draw? Oh, Faithless Looting. I'll take it. Yeah, now see, we're just going to start generating this Young Pyromancer value here. Happy to just discard this Increasing Vengeance. I don't need to do anything this turn, except attack the Garruk. Yeah, so we're in a position next turn, not necessarily to go off, unless we hit a Battle Hymn or something. Battle Hymn will make 4 mana. But we can Reforge the Soul and be ready to go off the next turn. Now, our opponent could just play Damnation or whatnot and kind of blow us out. That's just a risk of our deck here. But like I said, we're trying to have fun this week. Oh my gosh, look at that. All right, so this is actually interesting here. I'm kind of tempted to just go for it. Why not? Exile Simian Spirit Guide. Make the mana. Cast Reforge the Soul. And see if we hit either an Infernal Plunge, make mana, or just, any other free mana, another Simian Spirit Guide or something. We could try to go off here. That's what I'm going to try to do. Yeah, look at that. Wow, this looks pretty good, actually. Okay, so first thing we do, I think, is Spirit Guide into looting. I want to get as many creatures into play before I cast this Battle Hymn. Because if Battle Hymn makes enough mana, then we can just flashback Pass Some Flames and go off here. Alright, so I'm just going to exile that, play the Faithless Looting. This is looking pretty good here. I think, anyways. We'll see. Also, our opponent, there's no telling what they have, too, obviously. Alright, I've already played lands, so I can discard lands here. Alright, so now I think we Infernal Plunge. And it's nice because it actually just nets us mana. It breaks even with the Pyromancer, even though we have to sacrifice a creature. Our opponent's reading this one, I think. Yeah, I don't blame you. Oh, no. Do they have something? Extirpate our Pass Some Flames, huh? Wow, that's actually pretty good. Okay. That's not unbeatable, but it is annoying. Our opponent gets to see our deck now. If we make enough mana, we might still be able to get there with Pass Some Flames. But not being able to bring back a Reforge the Soul is pretty rough. Yeah. Unlucky. Alright. Extirpate's a nice sideboard card, by the way. Although it's funny, it has Split Second, right? And, since Split Second was introduced, that's more or less the end-all, be-all. The only thing that could ever really interact with Split Second was Counterbalance, because it's a triggered ability, right? Which split second doesn't stop. It stops activated abilities and spells. So, but sure, that was just a thing, right? It's funny that the KCI deck in Modern can actually beat an Extirpate because it's using mana abilities, which don't use the stack, but then will put triggers onto the stack on top of the Extirpate, and you can actually bring back the card they're extirpating. It's just kind of silly, actually. All right, so I think we just loot here, gives us another token. We're going to have a bunch of mana, and then we're going to end up looting and just trying to find another Reforge the Soul. Let's see what we hit here. All right, so a couple Battle Hymns. That's a lot of mana. I think we're only going to need one Battle Hymn. It's hard to say. I think we only need one Battle Hymn, though. All right, we'll go ahead and cycle the Street Wraith. Let's see if we get there. Dragon Fodder, huh? Okay. All right, so we'll plunge away another one of these. I actually have to keep the fodder in hand because I need something to discard. But now we'll go ahead and play the Battle Hymn. This should make, this will make a decent amount of mana here. 7 mana. We're up to 9. So now we can Faithless Looting and try to find Reforge the Soul. There's Reforge the Soul. We did it. All right. Well, now we get to try again here. We'll draw another hand and see what we can do. We're at 1 mana, so we have to get lucky again. Oh, no, we didn't do it yet. All right, we're going to cycle this. Fingers crossed. No, we didn't do it. All right, well, okay, I guess that is what it is. All right, well, we'll gut shot this thing. I guess that's it. Getting our passive flames there is pretty rough. That's why we're just supposed to win game 1. But hey, like I said, worst case scenario, look, we have 10 creatures in play now. All we have to do is we draw our Bushwhacker or just burn at the stake. Our opponent's going to die. And then unless they kill us next turn, and right, what are they going to have? If they fire off a big Death Cloud, we just sacrifice a bunch of tokens. They do get to do whatever they want here. They might have Damnation. That would obviously be a disaster for us. Kind of. We'll just reload with more tokens and go from there. We still have Faithless Looting to flashback. This deck has a lot of what you might call air, is I think how the pros refer to it, where it's just, we drew 7 there, but we needed kind of specific things to make it work. Our deck has a lot of weird pieces coming together to try to make it work, and yeah, sometimes it's just a Pass and Flames deck, but you know what? Here's what I have to say. Who cares? Yeah, they can Duress me. That's fine. I don't really know what they're going to take. If they take my gut shot, I guess I'm out of token. Ooh, focus camera. There we go. But if they... I don't know what they're supposed to do. It depends what's in their hand, I guess. If their hand is not Damnation, though, it's going to be a little rough for them. They're thinking about it. They took the Hordeling Outburst, and that makes some sense on their part. I think... So let's look at our graveyard here. We have 1, 2... We have 3 Reforge the Souls in there, so there's 1 left in our deck. We've got another redraw with Street Wraith. We've got 3 redraws with Manamorphose. We've got a Pass in Flames. We've got Burn at the Stake. All right, there's a Fatal Push, so now I'll go ahead and... guess I'll just hit this... I guess I'll just hit them. Heck, if they want to attack me, sure. See, and now our Pyromancer doesn't matter. We got our value off it. We have 10 1/1s in play. About to have 14 1/1s in play after this. These Dragon Fodders. Alright, so our opponent plays out their Dorks. And that's it, huh? Wow, that's a lot of Dragon Fodders. Okay. Well, I think I'd just play Faithless Looting first to see if I can win. Wow, not winning with those cards. Alright, well that's fine. We dug a couple deeper here. I think I'm just going to go ahead and attack my opponent with all of these. In fact, you could even make the argument, I was just supposed to play 3 Dragon Fodders that turn and just try to turn these sideways to win. Actually, that might have been better. This still looks to be enough regardless, though. Well, maybe not. Alright, so, yeah, maybe it's not quite enough, right? We have 11, my opponent has 3 blockers. But they're still, I mean, they're still behind on this board right now. But yeah, maybe I was just supposed to, since I didn't wipe the board last turn, maybe I wasn't supposed to loot. Maybe I was just supposed to dragon fodder 3 times there. Which is also important. I guess if they're making a bunch of green mana here. Oh, Thragtusk, huh? Well, that plan wouldn't have worked anyways against a Thragtusk. Now, our opponent's hand does not seem to be very good. So if we can draw a combo, you know, something to get us going here. Whether it's a Battle Hymn, so we can... How many... We have 1 Faithless Looting in the graveyard still, it looks like. And we have some good draws here. And we have enough mana to actually pay off most... Oh, that'll do it. That'll probably just win, right? No, I can do it once. You can only do it once. No, 4, 6. I can do it twice. So I can give everything +2, +0. Yeah, because I'll pay 4, buy back... Alright, so that would mean that 4 of these get blocked. So I have 11. 4 get blocked, that means 7. Let's assume they have 2 removal spells even. That's 5. But it's 5 getting +10 from the Haze of Rage. It should be enough even through 2 removal spells. Pretty sick, right? Love it. Buying back Haze of Rage. This is just crazy, too, because this is the value Haze of Rage. That's what's crazy. Oh, yeah, by the way, this card has Storm. So when you buy it back, yeah, pretty good, right? Our opponent is very dead. We didn't even combo. I mean, we did combo, but hey, we did it. Token overrun. Achieved right there. All right, so on the draw here, it's going to be a little more difficult. I think given how well that worked that game, I wonder if I want an empty. Our deck doesn't storm off great. Like, once it storms off, it basically storms all the way. It doesn't do small storms like you want with Empty the Warrens. So Empty the Warrens is actually kind of a new card I'm trying out on the sideboard, but I actually tinkered with this deck a little bit. I cut a land from my previous list. Like, I cut a land, changed the sideboard up a little bit. 4 defense grid's obviously great against the control decks. But I cut some of just the raw token production, which may or may not be correct. Just gonna give this a shot, I guess. Yeah, see, it's very possible that the best list here adds a Krinko command or 2, or maybe more Hordeling Outburst or something, right? I'm not sure. Like I said, I'm not sure exactly what the best configuration looks like. I do know that I don't mind this hand, though. The 2 gut shots with the Pyromancer mean value off the Pyromancer no matter what. And, you know, maybe, I mean, if we get to gut shot something on turn 1, then that's what we'll do. But you oftentimes end up with mana production in your hand. And obviously most of our mana production is dependent on creatures. Well, that card is... This card, now this is the other thing I'm thinking about, is cutting down to 1 of these and just adding another mana source or Krinko's command or something. It's sweet when it's sweet. And I actually won a game the other day where my opponent had Gideon Emblem. They didn't think I could win. I milled my entire... I drew every single card in my library because I had like 60 mana or whatever. So I played 4 Reforge the Soul, a bunch of Faithless Loons. I drew every card in my deck because the bottom card was the last Passing Flames I needed. So I could play the Burn at the Stake and copy it with Increasing Vengeance so I could kill Gideon and kill them. It was something. By the way, we're getting all the value right here. We get to play Pyromancer. We get to gut shot their Birds of Paradise. This is pretty nice. Hopefully we'll hit a land coming up here. We get the redraw with the Street Wraith. This is pretty decent. I mean, I don't know what our opponent has that would lead them to keep that. I mean, they maybe just got awkward without the turn 1 green mana source. Oh, wow. We're going to get all the value on these gut shots. Yeah, this is nice. That's why you board Gut Shot. It's also pretty good against Affinity, pretty decent against humans, etc. Kind of an underrated card. Wow, we did it too. All right, well, I guess there's nothing to do but just attack. So next turn is the turn my opponent could have Damnation. Can make 3 mana. That doesn't do much. The question is, do I want a Hordeling Outburst or just Dragon Fodder? We don't have any way to draw more cards right now, so I mean, we're kind of just on the token beatdown plan. The problem is running headfirst into Damnation. I think I'm going to... Our opponent was playing Birds of Paradise. They don't have Damnation. If they do, they got me. I'm going to make a bunch of tokens and just try to turn them all sideways. Which, by the way, very well just might work. If our opponent doesn't have a board wipe, if they just have a Garruk or something, I'm just going to keep turning tokens sideways. Clear out their board. A Death Cloud doesn't do much because we're ahead on board. They can't even get rid of enough of our creatures. And are they missing a land drop? And then just missing a land drop and passing? Yeah. I don't know. There's no reason to do anything here. But attack. That's a lot of damage. What is it? That's 8 damage. I mean, that's our opponent's dead next turn. Alright, so they're going to do something. Oh, Golgari Charm. Oh, no. Yeah, that's pretty good. That is the perfect answer. Alright, so I think I'm just going to play Dragon Fodder and copy it with Increasing Vengeance. Doesn't feel good, but hey, we're one top deck miracle away from being right in this thing. Yeah, Golgari Charm was basically always going to get us, but it didn't take too much. I mean, we need to get a little lucky here, but we have draws that can get us back into the game. When you're playing Reforge the Soul in your deck and you have, actual Wheel of Fortunes, very close anyway, so you can win a lot of games out of nowhere. That makes sense. That is the board wipe we could not play around at all. It's interesting. It does give their creatures -1/-1 as well, but... if my opponent minuses here, I'm just going to attack it. Let's see if they have a payoff here. They're down to 2 cards in hand. If they're not good, we might actually get to kill this thing. Or force them to burn a Fatal Push or whatever. Now just 1 card in hand. Their last card better be good. Ooh, Pass in Flames. Pass in Flames, you say? Decision time. I can Infernal Plunge. Pass in Flames is really good. I don't think it's good yet, though. In fact, I think I don't do anything but attack Garruk. I think our opponent has nothing. Let's just take Garruk off the board. Hold the Pass in Flames. I mean, we get blown out by another mass removal spell, but most other things, I think we're okay. We can just... If we hang on, we'd have access to 6 total mana with Infernal Plunge as it currently stands. Which means we can Pass in Flames, and then, I mean, we're not really doing much after we Pass in Flames right now, but it's a nice draw. Oh, well, Thragtusk is a good one. Not, All right, well, just going to Dragon Fodder again. No more Golgari Charms. We'll get a chance to draw out of this. Like I said, we have Reforge the Souls, we have Faithless Lootings, we have redraws with Shriek Wraiths, with Manamorphosis. Our deck, we don't have Serum Visions. We're not a blue deck here. But we do have a decent amount of draws that can get us going. Our opponent obviously has good draws as well. So we'll see what happens. But we could top deck our way into a win here. I mean, heck, maybe if nothing else, we... I don't know. We have 6 tokens. We can actually trade with the both halves of the Thragtusk, but I'm just going to take this 5. This 5 doesn't worry me. The next 5, I might start chump blocking. Remember, our creatures are our mana thanks to Battle Hymn. But if we did hit Battle Hymn, that would be okay. We'd make a lot of tokens if we hit Battle Hymn. We'd end up passing Flamings back a lot of token makers. It's an interesting game. It's going to be close. I've actually honestly thought about, and I don't think it's correct, but it's close to correct. It's just boarding into like a Goblin stacking. Bushwhackers, Goblin Chieftains, stuff like that. Our opponent has a 6 mana spell. 7 mana spell, huh? Please don't be Garruk Apex Predator. It's a Death Cloud, I guess. Yep, alright, Death Cloud, huh? 4. Well, it's going to be rough. It's about the perfect Death Cloud for them, actually. Yeah, I would say we're dead. Yeah, that's rather unfortunate. Well, hey, I guess that's something that gets us back in it. It's a good Death Cloud for our opponent. You know, if I had thought we were gonna, I mean, their last two cards were Death Cloud and Death Cloud and Thragtusk. I mean, that's basically what they needed there. Faithless Looting doesn't do anything, does it? Does not. All right, well, I don't think we're gonna win this one, but we'll play it out. It was very close, though. We were one card draw spell away from winning, basically. All right, I guess we're just looking for... Well, that's rough. All right. Yeah, I guess that'll do it. Good games. It was very close. Our opponent had a nice finishing salvo there to get us. But, you know what? It was a fun game. And, hey, we had a lot of fun in game 2. Unfortunately, didn't get to see combo in this one. But, hey, I think that it goes to show the good and the bad of the deck, right? Sometimes you don't combo, but sometimes you just win with creature beatdown. Not this game, though. We got this time around. Don't think there's anything we can hit here. Nope. All right. Well, that was a fun one, though. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the deck tech for Mono Red Burn at the Stake. This is a crazy deck, okay? Somebody shipped this list to me several years ago, and I've kind of had it in my back pocket ever since. I believe I played in one of my very early Mining Moderns, and the list hasn't changed much since then. It's changed a little. It's still crazy, though, so here we go. Burn at the Stake, 5 mana spell, 3 red, has additional cost to cast it. Tap any number of untapped creatures you control. It deals damage to any target equal to 3 times that number. It's kind of cool, right? Well, seems good with tokens, so that's what we're going to do. Now, how do you make all of that come together? Well, let me just walk you through this. The deck revolves around Young Pyromancer. It is a Young Pyromancer deck, probably the best Young Pyromancer deck in terms of generating tokens. No deck will generate more tokens with Young Pyromancer than this deck. So we're going to play Young Pyromancer. We're also going to play a bunch of tokens. We're going to play Dragon Fodder. We're going to play Hordeling Outburst. Okay, that's kind of our thing, right? That's how we're going to make tokens. Now what are we going to do? We're going to make mana with those tokens. The best card. The best ritual in Modern, I would say. Battle Hymn. Add 1 red for each creature you control. Well, this routinely makes... At first, it's not great. It's like 4 or 5 mana, you know, but it doesn't take long before this thing takes 7, 8 mana. 10, 20, 30, 50 mana. You make all them. I'm not kidding. Hundreds of mana gets made with this card. Hundreds of mana. Okay. Sometimes you got to get it going, right? Infernal Plunge, sacrifice a creature. Plenty creatures for us to sacrifice in this deck with the tokens. Get 3 mana. Faithless Looting set it all up. So you can see our engine now, right? With the Dragon Fodders and the Young Pyromancers and the Hordeling Outbursts and all these spells that just kind of cycle, right? With Manamorphose and Faithless Looting. We're going to make tokens off of Young Pyromancer. We're going to make mana off of Battle Hymn and Infernal Plunge. Then what are we going to do? Now we have tokens and mana. Yeah, Burn at the Stake is something we can do, but you can't just dilute your deck with a bunch of Burn at the Stakes, right? So we need it all to come together. And we've got cards to help us draw through our deck. Faithless Looting does it. Manamorphose does it. But you know what does it better than anything? Reforge the Soul. It's a miracle. Sometimes you just cast it for 5 mana more often than not. You discard your hand and draw 7 cards. It's a Wheel of Fortune. So that's pretty good. It's what we do, right? We make mana, we make tokens, we cast Reforge the Soul, and we start all over. With the Simian Spirit Guides in the deck, you can even do it earlier. You can go off... I've dealt 156 damage on turn 3 with this deck. That's the best I've done. And I could have done more damage that turn. That's just when I did it. But Reforge the Soul draws you into a new hand. With Simian Spirit Guide, you can start the loop depending on how much mana you have. You can start it all back up again, whether that means casting another Battle Hymn, whether it means you have the mana to cast a Faithless Looting or Infernal Plunge to get going again. By the way, we've got a couple value pass and flames here. You don't have to have this to win, but it does help quite a bit. Obviously, you then cast everything back, do it all over again. So now you can see the engine, right? We have the creatures, the tokens, we have the mana production, we have the pass and flames to do it all over again. We have a win condition of Burn at the Stake, but that's not the only win condition. We also have Haze of Rage. Now, I love this card. 2 mana, creatures you control get +1 until end of turn. Not a big deal, right? But it's got buyback for 2. That's neat. You can repeat it all the time. But you know what? It also has Storm. It just has Storm. I guess we're playing a Storm deck. I don't know. But yeah, this card has Storm on it. So, like I said, remember I said you make hundreds of mana? Yeah, you can buy this card back quite a few times, and then it's +40, plus 41, plus 42, and your creatures will attack for literal thousands of damage, thanks to Haze of Rage. That's the deck, everybody. Street Race to dig through. We also got a Goblin Bushwhacker to give all the tokens you make haste in here. We've got increasing vengeances to copy things, whether you have a, say you have a hymn that's making 4 mana, but you really need more than that. You can copy it. Also has flashback. You can flash it back from your graveyard to do all the same thing. You can copy Burn at the Stake. I've copied Burn at the Stake to kill Gideon and an opponent before when they had a Gideon emblem to protect them, right? So this is the deck, everybody. The sideboard, work in progress, of course. Defense grids against the control decks, Tormod's Crypt for the graveyards, Shattering Sprees for the artifact decks. So that'll cover your bases there. Gut shots for the Mana Dork decks, or decks that want to play things that are good against you. Thalia, for instance, is pretty good. Into the Warrens is I don't know about this card. I think it's probably not correct. I was just toying around with ways to beat counterspell decks outside of defense grid. But this deck doesn't really storm the way Storm does. We either storm for a lot or we storm not at all. So Empty the Warrens for value, I don't think is the right answer here. But it's what we played with, so that's in the videos. Since you might be watching this at the end of the videos, I would also say that you can probably cut one of these increasing vengeances and either add an 18th land or add another token making spell, whether that's Krinko's Command, which is Dragon Fodder for 2, or maybe the Force Spirit Guide. Maybe, depending on what you want, depending on what you're looking for. I think the deck, as it stands right now, probably needs another token maker. So I would probably cut this for a Krinko's Command, which makes 2 tokens for 2 mana. But regardless, as you'll see, this deck has a lot of power as it is, and it is fun, everybody. When I say this is a fun deck, I mean it. And I said we're relying on Pyromancer, I know, but you know what? Your opponents, sometimes they kill it, but sometimes you just play it and then go off in the same turn. It's just a thing that can happen. You can go turn 2, Dragon Fodder, turn 3, Pyromancer, Plunge, him, Reforge the Soul, win the game. Right? You can win on turn 3 with this deck. I've done it. Turn 4 kills are obviously more common. But the best part of this deck, this is one of my favorite parts, and it's one of the things that I think one of the reasons he needs another token. Sometimes your opponents have Rest in Peace. Sometimes they have, whatever the hate card is that you're not going to just kill them by attacking them, right? Maybe they have Rule of Law, that you can't cast more than 1 spell a turn, right? You're just not going to combo them off. Sometimes you just make a bunch of tokens, and you either just Burn at the Stake. Sometimes you just make 5 tokens on turn 4 or 5, and you just cast Burn at the Stake, and just deal 18 to them. And you know what? It's modern. That's good enough a lot of the times. But sometimes you just attack them. Sometimes you just play Haze of Rage twice. Sometimes you just get to 6 mana, you just play Haze of Rage twice, give all your creatures +3/+0, and just turn them sideways. Sometimes you just play a couple Dragon Fodders, get some value out of a Pyromancer, and kick a Bushwhacker and kill them. And if they've loaded up on negates or whatever to stop your combo, or Graveyard Hate to stop your Past in Flames, or whatever you've killed them with in Game 1, they're just not ready to get token swarmed in Game 2. I've honestly thought about converting the sideboard into like a Goblins deck. If we went a little heavier on the tokens, we play Goblin Chieftains. I mean, obviously Pyromancer makes Elemental, so it's a little awkward, but just leaning into the token thing, maybe you just put a bunch of Bushwhackers in it. Reckless Bushwhacker, Goblin Bushwhackers, and just try that. So, like I said, this is a work in progress deck, and it probably always will, because it is crazy. The main deck does what it does pretty well. The sideboard, I think, could use some work. But either way, it is a lot of fun. I hope you, if you're watching this before the matches, hope you enjoy the match. If you're watching it after, they were pretty good. This is Mining Modern. I'm Corbin Hostler. Thank you for watching, everybody.